Shout out to Lindsay Lohan, the return of Lindsay Lohan. Freakier Friday made $45 million overall. That includes domestic and foreign. And this might be the return of Lindsay Lohan as a box office draw. You know, she stepped into the career that she probably should have had 15 years ago, but she fell into that pit, that teen Hollywood pit of celebrity and addiction. And I don't know if she had like plastic surgery or Botox. Like whoever messed up her face back in the day, she didn't need it. She was a beautiful young lady. And whoever that plastic surgeon was that convinced her to get some fillers or whatever they did to her face, man, should be just disbarred. That person should lose his license because her face was nice. But I don't know if she had corrective surgery or she stopped using stuff on her face, but and maybe we got used to the plastic surgery, but she looks good now. She got that Verizon commercial. And her return kind of reminds me of Robert Downey Jr. You know, so right before Iron Man 1, Robert Downey Jr., you know, he had gone to prison, but he had cleaned himself up. And then he made, once he got out of prison, he made Zodiac, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Like he was in a string of films before Iron Man where he was clean and sober. But by Hollywood standards, they didn't trust him. But Robert was doing these indie movies. And then Jon Favreau wanted him to play Tony Stark. And even then, the studio didn't want him. And Favreau said, I'll pay the insurance. I trust this guy. And look at it now. Like Marvel, if it wasn't for Downey, man, who knows where the MCU would be without Downey. And Downey's become wealthy upon wealthy playing Tony Stark. And Lindsay Lohan's the same way. Like, go back and Google, like maybe from like 2005 to like 2012, 2013, man, it was a mess. You kind of forget because it's been so long ago, but she was getting arrested. She was drunk. Like it was bad. If you wasn't around back then and you forgot, Lindsay Lohan was a mess. And even just as bad as Britney Spears, the difference is Lindsay got out of it. Britney just kept on going downhill, which is unfortunate. And then Lindsay, I can't remember, did she go to jail or not? But she eventually cleaned herself up. She met her soon-to-be husband. She moved to Dubai, married him, they had a kid. And she's been fine for probably about a decade now, probably over a decade. So in the meantime, the past few years, she's been doing like Netflix movies, like romantic comedies, the type of stuff she was actually doing before when she was like a young actress. And she was doing some for like Netflix, romantic comedies, holiday, Christmas stuff on Netflix. So she was building that brand back up. And she had a godmother in Jamie Lee Curtis, and she said, it's time for us to make another movie. And they hooked up, wrote a good script. People seemed to like the movie. And now this film is made over $45 million. It cost $45 million to make before marketing. So I don't think it's going to be like Sinners, where Sinners just kept on making money. I don't think Freakier Friday is that type of film. I think it's do well. I think if it crosses over 100, if it makes over $100 million, it's a success. And right now, Lindsay Lohan's in the catbird seat because right now, Lindsay Lohan could create her own cottage industry of lighthearted romantic comedies. She could do it for Netflix. She could do it for Disney. In fact, in a lot of ways, she could be the mom of Disney, where she could keep on making films like this. It's nostalgic for her fans because they grew up with her. Because Lindsay's like what, 40 now, around 40. So she got the whole mom population who were teenagers or in their early 20s when they liked her when she was younger. And now, since she's fully in tune, she understands the whole Disney market and the lighthearted romantic comedy market. She can kind of tap into that and keep on making these almost corny, old school romantic comedies from a millennial standpoint, and then from a Gen Z standpoint, where she can play the mom or the aunt or even the grandmother in some cases down the road. So. No, she's in a sweet spot where she could actually be a mini tycoon, like Lacey Chabert, who they're trying to kick out, I think, from Hallmark because they think she's skinny too old. But Lacey Chabert, you know, she's like the queen of Hallmark. So, you know, that space is open for Lindsay Lohan to do the same thing for even Netflix or for Disney. Shout out to Jamie Lee Curtis. She's also been on a hot streak as of late with the Halloween films and this film, and she won the Everywhere, Anywhere, All at Once. She won an Oscar for that, even though that should have gone to Angela Bassett. I love Angela Bassett. Listen, I love Jamie Lee Curtis, but there's no way she should have beat out Angela Bassett for that Oscar, but it is what it is. But yeah, shout out to Jamie Lee Curtis for that streak she's been on too. So if you've seen Freakier Friday, what did you think of it? Do you think there should be a sequel? And what do you think, like the evolution of Lindsay Lohan? Talented young lady, fell into addiction in the Hollywood lifestyle, went to rehab, went to jail, got some bad plastic surgery or bad advice on plastic surgery. Now everything's turned around. Shout out to Lindsay Lohan. Shout out to Jamie Lee Curtis. Still didn't deserve that Oscar. Shout out to Jamie Lee.